We're live. We're live. Anybody on here yet? What's up, folks? Had a little bit of issues here, but we got it. Got it all lined out. No, you can stay in here. You're fine. You get these comments up first. Yeah. Oh, we got a winner. We got one on here. Well, they're probably waiting on the other. We got two in here. Okay. Yeah, I had to redo this, guys. I had it on I just had it on standby. I've got 5 in here. Cool. It's starting to load up. I'm just hanging out with the family. Man, I was gonna go fishing today, and it's my day off, and it's like 36 degrees. The wind's blowing like, seriously, the wind's blowing like 20 probably, and gusts up to 40 out of the north. So I'm just like, nah, I ain't getting out in that crap. It is way too cold for that. Got to go yesterday for a little bit, and it was cold enough yesterday. So you guys piling in on me? You want to wait a little bit? Yeah, you want to hang out? I got my daughters in here. Huh? Yeah, you guys want to do some trivia questions later, though, right? Yeah, they're going to do some trivia questions a little bit later, and we're going to have a little giveaway too. Just something small. Okay, I see all the names in here. I'm trying to get these comments up. Man, Greg's usually one doing this. So this is only like my second stream I did. So it's not like a complete rookie. So I'm not seeing any comments. There we go. There we go. All right. So we got Georgia Bassmasters in here. Good to see you too, man. Got Eric T. Midge in the house from Johnson City, Illinois. Cool, man. T. Harris, what's up? Larry Lee, what is up? Fred Harper, good to see you. Jay Beffa's in the house. Looks like everyone's catching up. That's right. That's right. This is all starting to happen here. Got Carrie on there. Got Alex. Welcome home from work. Man, that's the best time of the day for me is work or getting off of work. It's like that last 5 minutes when you finish up and you're sitting there waiting to clock out. We have to clock out, so I'm always sitting there at the time clock just waiting. It's like the longest 5 minutes and the best 5 minutes of the day. Got Mike in here. We got Seth. Cool. Good to see you back. Good to see all you guys back in here. So I'm gonna start out just talking about some of, man, I see Larry Lee, who's ready for warmer weather. Amen, brother. I'm most definitely. I'm gonna start talking about some winter baits that have been working for me lately, and then we can go through all that, and then we can kind of transition into some pre-spawn type stuff, some early pre-spawn, late winter type stuff. And while I'm doing this, you guys got any comments you want to touch on? Please bring them up. I'll be checking the comments. Ella's going to be in charge of running the comments for me. If she can get off her phone for a second.
I'm trying to do the
You playing Roblox or something? Oh, you're looking. She's working on her trivia questions. We're going to have a little trivia game show thing that they came up with a little bit later. So just to kind of mix it up, it should be fun. So yeah, so the thing that I've been throwing the most, and if you watch some of our recent videos, you've seen these in play a lot, is a jerkbait. And you know, it's just that time of the year where the fish seem to suspend around the shad, and things are cold around here. Water's 39 to 41 degrees. You know, it'll fluctuate a little bit each day depending on if the sun comes out or not, but it's probably actually colder than that right now because all this north wind. And we had probably like 1.5 inches of snow, I think Wednesday. And then we had some rain on, I want to say Friday, maybe Saturday. I can't say, Saturday, definitely Saturday. I saw Jay on here. I was thinking he fished a tournament Saturday. Yeah. So we had that rain and it melted all that snow. Right. And so that causes the water to cool down even more, and it'll add some stain to the water. So that water's really cold, and you need something that kind of suspends in their face. And the jerkbait is definitely the key. I'll show you some of the jerkbaits that have been working for me. You guys don't know I'm from Missouri, but I fish in Southern Illinois a lot. So something in this region these are the colors that have been working for me. My best one. This has been my little confidence. This is a finesse jerkbait, and this is the little Lucky Craft SP78. It's a little Lucky Craft pointer, and I apologize for, you probably won't be able to see the colors of these. This webcam is kind of crappy. I had another webcam and it's still kind of crappy. It didn't work, but that is the bait fish color. So you've got the silver sides, and you've got black back, and then you've got a white belly. This is a 2-hook model, and this is the DD version. So it's got that longer bill, which some days you need that longer bill. Some days you don't. You just kind of gotta scan and see where all the bait is and where all the bass are at. But this bait right here is going to get down it gets down there around 8 feet roughly, and that's a kind of a good all around depth. You know what I've been running into lately. This model, it comes like this. It's got it looks like a size, I want to say a size, it's almost like a size 5. I don't want to say it's a size 4. It looks kind of in between. And then this might be a size 8 on the back. So it's got, 2 different hooks on there, and this sucker sits like this, the water column. I mean, I left the split ring on there, and I like to use a snap. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Some people are cool with it. Some people think that it's a weak point, but I've been using a snap for like all my treble hook baits for probably, ever since I started fishing them. And I really don't have a problem. Now, I'm not catching, if you're down in Texas and California and you're catching 7 and 8 pound bass, I would probably tie directly to the split ring. And I guess you always have a chance of catching that. But the majority of the fish, a good fish around here is 5 to 6 pounds. And I've caught, if you watch that muskie video, I did a Kincaid video where I caught, I don't know how long that muskie was. It was probably, let's just say it was 48. Some people said it was 50. I'm thinking it was at least 48. And I caught it on 10-pound test with that split ring right there. And I've caught stripers, 25-pound stripers with this same snap on there. So to me, it's not an issue at all. It just depends on what you're confident in. If you're confident with going straight to that split ring, just go straight to that split ring. But the thing I like about the snap is when I'm in search mode and I'm trying to figure out what color jerkbait, what size jerkbait, what depth, what action, I've got this little snap, and I can pop it off and I can put a new one on, and it takes seconds. It just it's quick, and I'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 jerkbaits laying there before I figure out what they want. I do the same thing with traps. I do the same thing with crankbaits. And in the grass, when you're ripping a trap or crankbait, you might get a little bit of grass on this snap. So I don't know. It's something to consider. But anyway, I got on a little rant there. But this little 78, if you guys haven't thrown these smaller jerkbaits around, they get bites. And I've got this, the way this is weighted right now, it actually sinks. So it's going to be, what I've been doing is I've been targeting laydowns a lot. So the same places you would fish up shallow in the spring where you're throwing a spinnerbait or you're flipping a jig or chatterbait, swim jig, that kind of stuff. Well, those come out in the water and they go down and they kind of finger out, the branches are out there. Those fish really like to sit down in those. And in the wintertime, you can make you a cast, get it down, kind of set your boat up to where once that bait gets down, it's right over those little fingers. Make a couple twitches and just let it sit. And those fish will come up out of those laydowns and they'll grab these baits. And that's kind of how I got this one set up. It's falling really, really slow. So it's going to fall about a foot every 2, 3, 4 seconds, something like that. And it seems they kind of like that. They kind of rise up as it's coming down to them, and it kind of intercepts them. And I'll do the same thing over grass, like the deeper grass lines. A lot of times these fish in our lakes will set up on the outside of the grass line. That's one way you can key them. They're usually relating to wood in our area. They're usually relating to wood, or they're relating to the grass. And that's typically the outside of the grass line. Sometimes they're up in the patchy grass, which is a pain in the butt to fish a jerkbait through the grass. But if you can find them on the outside, they're usually fairly aggressive, and then they like this thing just kind of slowly kind of sinking down there. And it's kind of like you're meeting them in the middle. Okay, so if it's suspended, they're looking at it. And you move it a little bit, and they're looking at it, and they're coming up to it. And this is just how I picture it. I don't know exactly, but this is what's going on in my little pea brain. So as it's falling, it's actually coming to them. So you're kind of meeting them. So it seems like it helps them make up their mind. The only thing you got to watch out for is this thing sinking, right? So it does sink towards the wood. You know, you got to be mindful of about how deep the brush pile or the laydown is that you're fishing, because if you just let it sink, it's obviously going to come down and it's going to grab that brush, and by that time it's deeper than your rod tip, so you're not going to be able to poke it off. But jerk baits are the big deal right now. That's one of the things that I've definitely been throwing. I'll show you. We'll talk a little bit maybe more about some of the other baits, or some of the other jerk baits I throw, and then kind of the colors. This, by the way, this is the bait fish color. I don't know if I said that or not. I showed you that. It's got that white belly, and to me, that white belly it's really become confidence for me. It's key I like it in all conditions. I like it sunny and I like it cloudy, but I think it's really important when you got some cloud cover. They see that white. It just, you got a dark sky and then you got this white. And as they're looking up, it's a good contrast, I think. But to me lately, it's just been something with some white in it. And another color that's really good on these cloudy days, and this is kind of a standard, but this is a French pearl. Okay, so it's pretty much white, and then when you turn this belly over, it's got that orange. It's not really showing up that good. Like I said, this camera not the greatest. I'll tell you what, it's not going to be long, and I'm going to have a little room set up so I can do all this stuff. I don't think that's going to help anyway. But most people are familiar with French pearl. So it's just got this little bit of orange there, but it's mainly white. That's really good one on cloudy days. And even on sunny days, it just depends. A lot of it's got to do with the watercolor. If you've got a little bit of tint to the water, say 2 to 3 foot visibility, you're going to draw some strikes on this French pearl. It's a standard. It's something you got to have. Everybody's got one of these in their box that fishes a jerkbait. It's just a go-to. And this is the Lucky Strike. This is the RC Sticks. So Megabass knockoff. $9. The Lucky Crafts are 13 to 15. So a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable. Still does a really good job. Caught plenty of fish on this. I really don't have much negative to say about this. It's got a little bit different action than the Megabass, and if you look at them in the water side by side, you'll notice that they do have a little bit of a different action. I think it's got a little bit to do with the way this head is. These gill plates kind of stick out a little bit, where I'll show you a Megabass here in a little bit. They just got a little bit different shape. They've got a little bit different sound for sure. And they cast a little bit different. The Megabass cast slightly better than this, but this is definitely doable. I mean, if you've ever thrown a rogue around, you can throw a rogue. You pick this thing up and you're like, man, this is pretty sweet. It's like throwing a rock. So that's a pretty good, affordable jerkbait, hands down. You can go out and buy like 3 or 4 different colors of this and not break the bank. As far as, let me see here. Let me show you some of the other ones. Here's another one I've been throwing around. Now, 6 Cents is a company that I just kind of started buying. I think I bought my first 6 Cents Provoke jerkbait last year. And I didn't like the color that I had, so I didn't use it enough. And I've since purchased a couple more. And I think they've got some of the best color schemes out there for just, production. I don't know exactly how many baits they put out, but for a bait that you would just go to like Academy or some box store and find them, 6 Cents is, to me, he's got some of the best paint shops out there for that kind of stuff. This is the Provoke. It's a 110, and it's got that white belly on it. And I tore the little piece of cardboard. It tells me the names of these because I'm real bad about remembering the names of all these jerk baits. So actually set it in here so I can tell you what the name of that is. And I want to say it's a chartreuse something or another. It reminded me of the jank juice. I was looking for that and they didn't have it. It's kind of a different version of that. It's a chartreuse phobia is what that's called. So you probably can't see that. Chartreuse phobia. So anyway, this is a cool color. I've been throwing this around, and these baits cast really, really well. They've done a good job with their internal weighting system. They cast. I mean, I'm impressed by the way this thing casts. It's got EWG hooks, and that's another topic for discussion. Some people prefer the EWG hook. Some people prefer the round bend. I think if they're getting the jerk bait really, really good, definitely the EWG is the way to go because these kind of lock them up, and you don't lose near as many fish. I feel with the EWG, but the round bends, they kind of grab a hold of them. If they're kind of swiping at it, that round bend seems to snatch them. So it just kind of depends. I don't know if you got a jerk bait that you really, really like a lot, and you like a certain colors, you might want to have a couple of them rigged up with the round bends and a couple rigged up with the EWGs, depending on the day. So you don't have to sit on the boat and when it's 28 degrees out and change out hooks, split rings and stuff. That's pretty tough to do. So let me back up here and look at some of these comments before we get too far down the line here. And I'll dive into some more of my favorite jerk baits that have been working for me lately. I'll scroll back up here to the top. Does the audio seem to be all right out there? The video is going to have to be all right because that's all I've got. Got my wife's laptop down here, and let me see. Okay. We got David in here. What's up? Got Alex. Just kind of checking some of these comments. Michelangelo. Got Stephanie. Stephanie, did you get your baits yet? I sent them about 3 or 4 days ago. I'm hoping you got them. Got Winning Edge in here. What's up, man? What's up, Rob? Megabass 1-2 Junior on a spinning rod is killer. Yeah, I haven't bought one of the mini or the Junior 110s yet. I've got some of the Lucky Strike 110s, and they're okay. I think they're weighted pretty light for me. I mean, I guess you definitely would have to have a spinning rod to throw that sucker. I can't do it on a bait caster. The I'm a Jerkbait is a sleeper. Yeah, I don't think I have one of those yet. There's a lot of good jerkbaits out there. I'm running out of space, so I need to be really wise about all my purchases. But I probably will pick up some of those. The Dual Realis 2, believe it or not, is something that I haven't tried, and I know that's a go-to for a lot of people. I just haven't bought one yet, and I plan on it. What's up, Andy? Good to see you in here. Kobe Becker fishing. Have you been on Egypt lately? I haven't been on Egypt it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe even a month. I've been fishing Kincaid a lot, and I've been fishing Cedar a little bit because there's a couple winter tournaments over there. We fished one last Sunday, so I hadn't been on Cedar for quite a while, but I keep kind of trying to rotate through these lakes just to kind of try to learn them in the winter, and then to bring you guys some fishing reports and just give you guys an idea of what the water temps and what the water clarity and all that is. But I know Jay Beffa, who's on here, his club fished a tournament over there Saturday in that rain, the cold rain, and they did pretty good. They caught a lot of fish. The fish were definitely biting on Saturday, and it was kind of a jerkbait shaky head deal. And then Ron DeRosa, he's probably on here. I haven't seen him on here yet, but they fished that winter derby over there, and it was a lot tougher that day. So it's, the winter is, man, it's you could go fishing like 5 days in a row, and of those 5 days, you could have one really good day where you get, I don't know, it depends on the lake, but let's just say you get 10 to 15 bites. And then you could have a couple days where you'll get 2 or 3 bites, and then you can have another day where it's like really, really hard to get a bite. So they're really, really finicky. They've got really small feeding windows. Like the tournament we fished Sunday, it was 2 Sundays ago. Most of the guys that I talked to, well, all the people that I talked to said there was a feeding window, like first thing in the morning. From the tournament started at 7, so from like 7 to 8:30ish, maybe 9 o'clock, they bit a little bit, and then there was a huge dead period throughout the day. And then in the afternoon, about 1:30, people started getting some bites, and that's exactly what happened to us too. We caught a few fish in the morning, and then it was really tough, and we're scrambling around. We're like, man, we're doing everything wrong, but really everybody was having trouble catching fish. And then as the day went on, I got closer to weigh-in, we started getting some bites. So, but yeah, but Egypt's I think the water, I heard 37 to 39 degrees on Saturday, but then Ron was saying that it was kind of 39 down lake, and then up towards the power plant was like 45, 46. So that's very encouraging, because if you guys don't know, they kind of shut back the production, or they rolled down the production on the power plant. And that's a hot water lake, warm water lake, power plant lake. So we've been spoiled with, mid 50-degree temps, and I think fish are kind of have to get used to a little bit colder water this year, but they're still biting and they're still putting out some warm water. See Gary on here. What's up, Gary? Tom, is that the Aurora Black? No, I think you were talking about that Lucky Craft. It's called the bait fish color. So it's I don't know, it's a little bit different, but Eric loves the snaps. All right. Shout out to Eric for some snap love. Okay, Michelangelo always ties direct. There you go. We got another vote for snaps. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. However, and it's up to the individual on how they want to tie their treble hook baits on there. One thing with that split ring, you got to make sure that you don't tie in between the metal. There's a little opening in there, and you definitely don't want to tie there, because it can slide up. It can fray your line, and it can slide up in the split ring and actually come off. And that's why I think, they went to the oval ring, which is a little bit more easier to find where that split is. But you eliminate that, you don't have to worry about your line getting frayed up on that break in the split. And it's a lot easier. I've never had a problem with it, but to each his own for sure. Either way is just fine. There's Ron. What's up, Ron? 251, really? What's up, Pauly D? Yeah, man, I'm chugging away, Michelangelo. I'm just trying to stay consistent and trying to bring you guys good content and trying to do these live streams so I can touch base with everybody and have some interaction with the folks, man. It's fun, man. It's a lot of work. I'm editing pretty much every night. I'm in there pinking around on something. It's fun. It's kind of like my little escape. I can get back there after everything kind of settles down at the house. I can sneak in the office for, like an hour or two. I'm glad I live like 15 minutes from work, because it's hard to get up in the morning when you stayed up till like 1 o'clock at night editing videos. You kind of get into, I'm going to do, tell me what you guys think about this. I was going to do some kind of video on kind of how I make a video, like how I set my stuff up when I go fishing, what I look for, the commentary, videoing things that are coming up on the graph that are of interest, just talking about what I'm doing, that kind of stuff. Kind of like how to throw a little fishing video together, because there's more and more people that have GoPros and stuff, and they're wanting to just capture the moment, whether they have a YouTube channel or whether they just want to have some video that they can show their family. And it's kind of it's a memento. It'd be around forever, as long as YouTube's up. There's always a platform to share content. And when you're, I don't know, this sounds kind of gruesome, but when you're gone, it's still going to be on there. Your friends can check it out, your family can check it out. So it's a great way to capture the moment. But I was thinking about doing a video on just kind of, I don't know, like filming a fishing video 101 or something. So yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. What's up, TJ81? James in the house. Good to see you on here, man. Just trying to catch up on all these, and then we'll go into some other colors here. Yeah, we got several guys that like the French Pearl. It's one of those you just gotta have. You gotta have the French Pearl. What's up, Brian's Fishing Adventures from Buckeye Lake, Ohio? Man, I bet you it's cold up there, isn't it? What's up, Danny Hudson? Hello from Kentucky. Appreciate that. Winning Edge Fishing Orange Belly, yes. Vision 110 French Pearl. Table Rock Special. That's right, man. That's another good one. We'll talk about some more of these colors here shortly. Translucent white. Jay Buffa said this weekend on Egypt, the Edo Natural was definitely the bait. They were eating it. Yeah, that's another great color. There's a lot of great colors, but it seems like you always have your favorite color, and you're always gonna like basically two colors. I always got a cloudy color and I got a clear day color, and it's hard to do too much experimenting once you find that color that you like. Okay, let's see here. Let's get back into some other colors. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Gary? I think I got everybody. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribe and hit me that thumbs up, man. That's a way. I haven't said this in a while, but YouTube doesn't like these small channels. They like the Guggen squads, and they like the all the drama stuff, the unboxings, which is cool, but they like the competitions and the 10 best, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the way to support these channels is to give me a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. And that helps me grow, and I really, really appreciate it. That's just showing me some love, man. That's what I like to see. It's cool. So here's another bait. This is a really cool jerk bait. And I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about this, but this is the Jackal Re-Range 110. And I think this is called strobe light. It's got it's kind of translucent, and it's got that darker kind of purplish. I'm semi colorblind, so don't write this in stone, but I know that's not white. It's like a purplish green or something. And then it's got a chartreuse kind of lime belly. And it's got this weird, I don't know if you can see that internal rattle. Let me see if I can turn it to where you can see it. Right there. There's a it's a magnetic weight transfer system in there. And right now, you can't, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so it's right there. There's a ball right there, and then this cylinder thing is like a magnet, and it's stuck. That's why it's not falling. But when you cast this thing, the G-force, I guess it is, causes this thing to go back to the tail, and it makes this clicking noise. It sounds like you broke something. But this is a real good casting jerkbait, and I've been catching a few fish on that. It gets down pretty good. I would say this one gets down there around, I don't know, a good solid 5-6 foot. So it gets down just a hair deeper than most of your 110s. Cool bait. I've only had this one color, but I've been using this on cloudy days to get a few bites. And we got the crew down here. My girls are down here. They're wanting to do some trivia stuff. So you guys up for some like 7th grade trivia questions? Is that hard? Okay.
Not. Which one is
that? No, they'll get that one. People will get that one. I do the other one. Me too. I don't know what that one is.
You know
no, I don't know what that one is either. Well, that's good. So they'll get one. All right, let's move this. All right, guys, we're gonna. This is kind of like a little intermission. We're gonna do a little trivia thing. So these are my daughters. This is Ella.
Yeah.
And this is Sophia, and it's got fresh braces, so they're still talking with a little bit of a wisp. But they were wanting to do a little yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Ella. They wanted to do a little trivia thing. So last time I did a live stream, they each came down here and threw out some trivia questions, and we're gonna do the last one that we do. We're gonna do a giveaway. So we're gonna give away a free 10 Horse Monty t-shirt. So we have
Also, I have one on.
we have the sports gray.
I have one on
And then we have
This color.
what color is that? Topaz? Is that right? Jade. Yeah, it's a jade color. So it's got the logo on the front, and then it's got support local fishing, and we have large and extra large left. So the last question is gonna be the one who gets the free t-shirt.
I'm going first.
Yeah, so Ella, you want me to get out of the way and you can get in, or you want me to sit here with you?
You can sit here.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go.
I'm gonna have 3 short questions. So the first 2 are gonna be logos. So you're gonna have to guess the logo of the brand. Okay. So the first one is a brand of something. Oh gosh, can you see it?
Hold it still. Okay, so you got to guess whose logo is that?
Guess my hand. And the first person that gets it right will just say it.
Does anybody know?
He got it.
Jason Aaron. What's up, bro? Good to see you on here, man.
Got it first. Airway.
Okay, so that's one. This is just bragging rights.
Just easy.
Till we get to the everybody knew that one.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Bam, bam, bam.
If you like Disney movies, you'll know this.
iPods.
It's gonna be very easy. So everybody ready? Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. It's a movie.
So who knows that one?
You got this, guys.
It'd take a second to get out there. It's like live action right now. It's moving around. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. No, that one.
Oh, Hans.
Hans.
Good job.
Everyone got it. Hey, you guys are doing good.
I didn't even recognize that one. Do that other one too. That one's cool.
I deleted it.
You deleted it?
It's my turn.
That's the one I knew.
Okay.
I knew.
This one's gonna be easy.
You guys will get this one.
I'm not gonna give you any clues, okay? Ready? Go. I know this one.
That's Nemo. What's up, Nemo? I always wonder what that guy's name is. This is kind of old school. I think it's still around.
Yes. Again.
It's on fire, man. It's on fire.
Okay, so those were the 3 little small ones, and I have one that's
Everybody's got that one. I knew that one right off the bat. Okay, so you're gonna do another trivia question.
Okay, you guys should know this.
Brian said that was way too easy.
Okay.
She was gonna do what were we gonna do 50s French history or something?
I was gonna do 7th grade history class, but then
I said no, they don't want to talk about nuclear bombs and stuff like that.
I know. Okay, so the question is, what is the coldest place in the U.S.? The coldest place in the U.S. You might have to look this up.
Is this a city?
This is the coldest
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that?
Mm-hmm. You know the answer, right?
Coldest place in the USA.
Okay, Alaska. We're looking for a city and a state. We've got Nome, Alaska on there. Duluth, Minnesota.
Okay, you guys are doing okay.
You guys are getting really close.
It's the coldest. Just says the coldest place in the USA.
Juneau. No, man, that Nome. You guys are right there on that.
You guys are close. St. Louis on Sunday.
That's good. Yeah, man, it's gonna be cold. Something 3 days.
I'll give you a clue.
So give them the right state for sure.
Okay, it's.
Ooh, they're getting so close.
You guys are so close. Okay, so it's in Alaska. But what is it? You guys got this.
It's a city in Alaska.
It's a city in Alaska. You're so close. Mom's basement. Airwick? You still saying Airwick? I think it's.
There boom.
LED.
LED 8541.
Oh, LED.
LED. Okay.
Sophia.
Your foot there. I got some jerkbait.
Got it.
Okay, we got 2 more questions. This is a tough one too. This is a fishing related one. So did you guys get that?
If you didn't get it, we will repeat it.
No. You don't need to type it. Just tell it. Okay, a female largemouth bass lays between 2,000 and 7,000 eggs per pound. How many of those fry hatched will reach the 10-inch mark?
It's a specific number
Specific number.
from something to something.
If Ron DeRosa's on here, you should get this one.
Should I say it again or not?
No, they get it. They're
I
thinking
think so.
about it. They're Googling it right now.
Okay.
Oh,
One person got it, but we're gonna wait for the.
Tom, you're right there. You got the upper end of it.
Yeah.
You got
Yes, you got the upper end. Tom.
So let's just tell them. So it was between. Oh, Jason, you're close too.
Oh yeah, you're
Bass
close.
RX a little bit high. 10%. We were going with like an actual number.
Like something to something, like what?
A range.
40 to 50, even though that's not the answer.
That's what I thought, Seth. I thought it would be a lot higher, but what we researched, we didn't do a lot of research. We just Googled it, but they were saying
it is 5 to 10.
They're saying 5 to 10.
5
So
to 10.
Jason, boom, 7 to 10. You're right in that.
And then Tom.
1 to 5.
Tom
Steve.
said 10. 5 to 10.
Yep.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Got it now. So that's amazing, right? So up to 7,000 eggs, and only 5 to 10 of those bass survive to make it to 10 inches long. That's not a good recruit rate. Anyway, I'm glad we got a lot of bass in our systems.
Okay, everybody.
Okay, this is for the t-shirt, guys.
This is the giveaway t-shirt.
All right,
This
get your
one will
thinking
be
caps on.
interesting. Okay. How many fishing rods?
So we're looking for how many fishing rods
in his house.
do I
in
have?
our house.
It's probably less than you think.
Yeah, it's less than you think.
Does that include broken rods too?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 'cause
Were
there was
those broken?
yeah, one of them was.
Yes,
So
we
I had-
actually counted. Oh, they lost the audio.
Lost the audio.
Okay. You have to do the exact number. Everybody's guessing.
Boom, they're coming in.
They're coming in. Somebody got close.
Everybody still hear me out there? Somebody said we lost audio.
It's cutting out. It's cutting out. So should I type it? No.
No. They obviously heard it. Look at the answer. Has anybody hit it yet?
No.
Getting closer. Okay, Gary says he can hear us.
Okay.
17.5. Because I broke one, right? So it's a half. That's funny.
They said they hear.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't hear you.
You guys are getting.
Because she talks soft. Sophia's really soft.
You guys
Ooh.
can.
Ooh,
Oh,
it's
you
getting
guys
close.
are getting
Getting really
close.
close.
Oh.
Getting
You
close.
guys are so close.
Winning edge. I have more than 12
Not enough.
12 rods when I go out in my
Yeah.
boat. You guys are rating real close. I think it's
Not enough.
yeah, not
The
enough.
answer, but it's not the right one.
It's getting you guys are getting closer. Broke Veritas, that's right. And it's still in my closet.
That light is.
We're not there yet. Keep guessing. Keep
Close.
guessing. Andy's getting closer. 251, 38.5.
47.
Getting to see who all's in here. That's cool. 300,000. There it is. That's the winner. 300,000.
Just kidding.
I would have to have a new place to live.
This is really hard. Everybody's pulling in
Yeah,
fast.
they're getting higher. You're gonna have to go up just a little bit. I know. Maybe I'm a little more obsessive than what I was thinking. 6 Barbie. Yeah, that's just part of it, though.
Oh, I thought you
We do have Barbies. No, we gave those away. That was their first. Their first fishing rod was a Barbie rod. Oh,
You're super close.
shh! Don't tell him. Chuck's a little high. Well,
He's getting so close.
I didn't mean it like that. He might be a little bit
Oh my gosh.
exaggerated.
He's so close.
You're
He's so close. Oh my gosh, you guys are so close. Oh my gosh. Nate Summers.
Nate Summers. Got
Summers. In Hansel's second. But yeah,
it. Okay, there it is.
Nate got it. 61
Nate and Hans.
rods.
It was 61. So
But
Nate
got it first.
was first. So we're gonna go ahead and get you a extra large or large.
What
in-
color would you like?
And what is it?
Do you
Jade
want
and
Jade or gray?
Jade or gray. Just I think you already have a shirt.
Okay,
but
look.
you can
Let me tell him again.
give it to somebody else. So just shoot me your information. You can give me a message on 10 Horse Monty 6 or Gabe Montgomery Fishing or 10 Horse Monty on Facebook. Yeah, they're just a little bit late. Yeah, that's right, Jay.
Yes.
I think you probably got as many as I do. John, I know, man. It's just now let me defend myself here. Okay. Let me defend myself. There were a couple fly rods probably 3 fly rods in the mix. There were a couple of the kids poles in there. But as far as my actual workhorse rod and reel setups, I probably got like 26. So
only 26.
probably that's probably the ones that I use all the time. You know, the rest of them are kind of just spares and stuff. And I'll swap them out, you know, like a frog rod or something. I'm not using.
Hold up, I won. Nate.
That's right,
You
Nate.
did win.
Congratulations, brother.
It
Yeah,
was
hit me up
61.
on my Facebook page. And I think I've got your information. I don't know, but hit me up anyway. Do a little refresher. So that was fun, man. Congratulations. You guys nailed those logo things.
Yeah, you guys good.
I didn't know any of that stuff.
How are you guys do those next time?
So we're gonna talk about jerkbaits again. We were right in the middle of a jerkbait conversation. And you guys like talking about jerkbait, right? Yeah. Isn't that your favorite thing?
Yeah, my favorite thing.
Do me a favor. Go in there by that on the ground in there. There should be some crankbaits that are laying there. Like, turn the light on. No, they'd be in a plastic bag. There's some crawfish looking crankbaits. I wanted to show those. All right, doggy. That's Finley too. They're just on the ground. Just look around in there. You'll find them. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about crankbaits. That was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, you can hang out. You can go. You can do whatever you want. You got your homework done, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No, they'll be like this, though. But they'll be square or small. Okay. So crankbaits or jerkbaits. We got way off topic there. I got to get focused here. Okay, another jerkbait that I've been throwing around. No, they're in a plastic bag on the floor. Yes, they're the ones I showed you the other day from Bag 5. They're the ones that Mike painted up. Give me just a second. Having technical jerkbait difficulties, trouble hooks. Okay, here we go. Boom, right there. This is a Strike King KVD 300 series. This is another good jerkbait that I've been throwing around, and you can't find them. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll get it later if it even comes to that. There's people still guessing. So this jerkbait gets down there around that 9 to 10 foot, 9 to 11 foot. So if you've got 8-pound test, you're going to hit that 11 foot. If you're throwing it on 10, you're going to get close to 9, a little bit over 9, something like that. And if you're doing 12, you're going to get a little bit shallower, of course. Got a pretty good bill on it. And one of the things that's nice about these larger bill jerkbaits like this is you can fish them around wood cover a little bit better. So when you got that lay down and you're jerking, this bigger bill allows it to kind of come up that wood a little bit better. You don't get snagged quite as much. It's got 3 hooks on it, which are really nice. And this is that black back, gold, chrome, and white belly again. It's a really good color. But the thing is, I haven't been catching as many fish on this because it's got a really exaggerated wobble. For me, it seems like I've been throwing like the little finesse jerkbaits, and then something that's got a little bit more subtle of action than this thing. But when the water was like 45, I was getting a lot of bites on this. Now the water's 39 to 40. It seems like I'm not getting near as many bites on this, but it is definitely something that you want to consider having. This is a color that I like to throw on cloudy and sunny days. It's got a lot of flash. And one thing that you really have to pay attention to on these jerkbaits is if you have a different colored belly than the sides, you get that flash. That light's kind of overemphasizing it, but that flash is what gets that fish's attention. They see something flashing in the water, or they see something kind of loud, like on the cloudy days. That's why that French pearl's so good. They can see something that's got some presence, and it draws their attention, makes them come to it. Yeah, I'll get to that here in just a second. Yeah, Stephanie, I see you right there. Yeah, I've got several of these for sale. So Stephanie was asking, how can I get a shirt? And that's a good question. We got a few of these extra large and large shirts in the gray and on the jade. So we've got some of those to sell, and it's just, I'm not making hardly any money off these. It's just a little bit of money, and that money kind of goes back into the channel to hopefully get a new computer. That's my goal. I'm working on getting a new computer. Yeah. We need a new computer bad, but so yeah, just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, and I will definitely get you a shirt on the way. I really appreciate that. So these are good. These KVD Strike King makes pretty good jerk baits. I've got some of the 2-hook ones too. I think it's the 200 series. They're pretty good solid jerk baits as well. As far as the colors, okay, let's do colors. I'm not gonna go through every single jerk bait. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, somebody said something about a husky jerk. Who was that? This is anyway, this is a husky jerk. Now I haven't thrown these around in a while, but these are still pretty good. I forget about these. This is an old standard one, that chrome blue, that orange belly, 2-hook model. Caught a lot of pond. I use this a lot in ponds, like this pond behind my house here. This is a good catcher in this ponds. So what was I shaking? I was shaking on something else. Okay, I'll show you a couple more jerk baits and then we'll move on to something else. Probably should have kind of like separated first. It's another 6 cents one. So the mega bass, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the mega bass. That bait is very expensive. Everybody knows that. It's like 25 bucks. See if you can get this one out of there. This one right here. No, right here, this Western Clown color. Yeah, grab that one out of there. You have to do that. But the mega bass, super expensive jerk bait. And is it worth it? I did a video recently where I talked about, who makes the best jerk bait. And in my opinion, there isn't, a better jerk bait. There's not the best jerk bait. It's one that you got confidence in. And the mega bass is something that a lot of people have confidence in, and for a reason. It's, first of all, it casts really, really good. If you're new to jerkbait fishing, new to casting things that are a little bit squirrely in the wind, that the 6 cents, the mega bass, and that jackal are probably the 3 of the better casting jerkbaits that I've found. Now, obviously, you probably not going to spend 25 bucks for your first jerkbait, but they're really, really nice. They got a real subtle action. You got that one yet? And they come in several different models. So you got the original 110, then you got the 110 plus one, and then you got the 110 plus two. The plus one gets down there, I think, in that 8-foot range, and the 2 is going to get down there 11. I've heard some people say 15, but I don't know. I don't have any, but I don't know that it's going to get down to 15 unless you got it set up to where it's sinking. But they are really nice jerk baits. And like I said earlier, compared to the Lucky Strike, there is a difference. They've got a different sound to them. They got they got the tungsten internal rattle system in there. They cast a little bit better. They just have a little bit different action. And we're trying to get one out here so we can show it to you. But are they worth 25 bucks? I mean, yes and no. They're a superior jerkbait for sure. So worth the money in that aspect. And they have so many different paint schemes. The Japanese painters are unbelievable what they can do with all the colors and stuff. And I've been learning a little bit about colors from Mike Russell. He was on our live stream last week from Bag 5 Baits, and he's one of the better painters in the nation, in my opinion. But he was kind of walking me through how these people paint these colors. There's so many different layers and so many different subtleties, and stacking colors a certain way, fading the colors together gives it a different sheen. And we have got as a Mega Bass Vision 110, folks. Looky there. So this is one of my favorite colors. This is Western Clown. Got the red head. It's got that kind of chartreuse back, silvery sides, and a white belly. Now this one, I like this all around, but this is a really good color in stained water. So like I mentioned earlier, we got a lot of rain here. We got some snow melt off, and the water is starting to get a little bit stained. This color right here, traditionally it's thought of, it's a clown color, it's Western Clown. So that's, a lot of people think of this as a clear water bait. It's got a lot of flash and stuff, but it does really good in that stained water. I mean, I've caught fish, believe it or not, in 42-degree water with 1 foot of visibility on this sucker right here. So this is one of those go-to jerk baits. If you can't get them to bite other ways in that cold water and it's cold and muddy, this is a color you need to pick up. Western Clown, you can get this in different brands if you don't want to spend the $25, but I like this color a lot. And then I like the Pro Blue. So if we ever do another jerkbait video or jerkbait live stream, I'm going to have my favorite ones all laid out here. So I don't have to go through this. Here's basically our Pro Blue. You got blue on the back, clear sides, blue belly. So this is another 110. Great bait. So if you had to get 2 colors, let's say if you had to get 4 colors, we'll wrap this up. If you had to get 4 colors, in my opinion, you definitely want a French pearl for your cloudy days, and you want a Pro Blue, which is kind of universal. Clear water, slightly stained water, sunny days, cloudy days. And I would have to go with something with a chartreuse belly, whatever color that is that you want. Something a chartreuse belly and a white belly. So you want two. Let's see, 2 with the white belly, 2 with the chartreuse belly. And the other one I would go to is something more natural, like the Edo natural, or even the bait fish color. That little bait fish that I showed you earlier. I consider this a natural color. To me, it is. It looks just like a shad. So you want something that's a little bit loud, a little bit bold. You want something that's got a lot of bling to it, got a lot of flash. And then if you want to throw something like that Edo natural, something that's more, it's kind of translucent. And then that's it. And then just get out there and try them, throw them around. As far as rod and reel setup, man, it's all over the place. I got that jerk rod that I got. It's just a loose topwater jerkbait rod. It's a custom light. It's like 6'8", so it's a little peewee rig. But man, it launches those little SP78s out there really good. And then I've been throwing actually I got a 7.2 loose cranking rod that I've been using, and I got a 7-foot medium smoke rod that I've been using. So 6'8" to 7.2 probably. It just depends on but the main thing is you want a soft tip. And 8 to 10 pound test is what I'm usually throwing. I threw 8-pound tests all last year. I caught some big stripers on it. I caught some big bass on it. You don't have to worry about it. The fish are kind of sluggish anyway. They don't take off for too long. You just got to get them turned. And then a lot of times it's kind of like just pulling in dead weight. They're full of eggs right now. The eggs are kind of working, and they're just dense. They don't fight for that long. So you don't really have to have any heavy duty line. An 8-pound test is pretty strong anyway. You guys that fish a spinning rod and stuff with a braided fluoro leader, the 8-pound test can get some big fish in the boat. But 8 to 10 pound test, I bumped up to 10 this year. I don't know why. I was kind of glad the other day when I caught that big muskie that I had 10-pound test on. But yeah, 8 to 10 pound test. And then, as far as a reel, just whatever reel, it doesn't matter. I like a 7-foot or a 7 to 1 gear ratio. It's just kind of multi-purpose. You can do just about whatever you want on there. And it's really just about, the reel's just picking up the line. So you're popping it a couple times and you're just letting it sit. And all you're using that reel for is to just pick up that slack line. And then once you do get hooked up with fish, it is nice to have a little bit faster reel in case they do make a little bit of surge down to try to get down in those laydowns or those standing timber or brush piles or something. You can keep up with them. We'll talk about the cadence real quick too. That's really important. Once you try a couple colors, and you kind of get a feel for what colors to throw during certain situations, then you have to figure out the cadence. The cadence is it's a little bit tricky. I would say more important to how many times you jerk. It's how long you let that bait sit. To me, a lot of times that's the thing you have to figure out the most. So I will usually make my cast, and I usually just kind of reel down a little bit, make like 3 or 4 reel cranks, and that gets that bait kind of going down like it's supposed to. And then I'll tap it a couple times. I'll just hit it a couple times, and then I'll just let it sit on a slack line. So your line is tight, and then you tap it a couple times, and then just kind of point your rod at the bait, and that throws slack in your line, which is very important because that bait is gonna, when you jerk it a couple times like that, your weights are going to get where they need to go. They're going to settle back in. That's one thing about the mega bass. They do a little Twitter, but let me stay focused on this. So that the rattles and the weights are going to kind of settle in your jerkbait, even though you don't have any tension on your line. When you stop it, it'll kind of sit there and it'll shimmy down. Okay, and then it's going to sit, right. It might rock back and forth, but you want to leave slack in that, and then you want to count. You actually have to, after you do it for a while, you kind of get you get a feel for how long you've counted. But the best thing to do is to actually start counting, like just 1001, 1002, 1003. And I tell you what, people say they've let jerkbait sit there for like 15 seconds. That's a long time. 10 seconds is a long time. 5 seconds seems like a long time, especially if you're used to throwing, faster moving baits. So jerk it down, count to 3. Okay. Then jerk it once, count to 3, jerk it twice, count to 3. And do that, if you're in an area that's holding fish, you've scanned, you're seeing bait, or if you got a little bit of wind blowing in there, you're in the right area, that's a good high percentage area. So you've taken care of that part, you're in the right area. Try moving it a little bit faster, 3 to 4 second jerks, and give that about 10, 15 minutes. And if you can't get bits, slow it down even more. Slow it down to 7, 8 seconds sometimes. That's about what it's been taking for me personally, is just letting it sit for 7, 8 seconds. And like I told you, that some of the jerk has been sinking too. So it's not moving horizontal, but it is moving vertically towards the fish. So you're kind of meeting them halfway. But you got to figure that how long to let it sit. And you always want to throw line back at the bait, so you're not causing it to do anything that you don't want it to do. Another thing that you can do, and let's talk about a couple of retrieves too. Another thing you can do is, instead of the jerk, you can do like a little sweep, just a little pull. And I was catching fish like that last week. They didn't seem like they wanted the twitch. And I'm not twitching hard either. It's a little subtle twitch. You're just wanting that bait to kind of, it's sitting down there. A lot of my baits are weighted nose down. I know Jay likes his horizontal, which he's got me rethinking about how I want to weight my jerk baits. And I've even seen guys wrap lead around this back hook, and it's sitting like this. So when they pop it, it's doing this. It's a completely different action. But typically, you'll hear most people want their jerkbait sitting nose down. Supposedly that's a defense position for a dying shad. I don't know exactly how people know that. They've had, a shad intervention, and they've talked about what things they do right before they're getting ready to die. I don't know. I guess they've just observed that, but who knows? Anyway, what I do know is that if they want it this way, you need to be throwing it that way. So your jerkbait is sitting like this, right? Motionless for the most part. And you hit it, you don't want it to shoot forward at all. So you just want to give it like soft twitches and then throw that line back at it. But another thing I've been doing is doing the sweeps, and like just doing a little sweep, like little pulls. So you've jerked it down, I'm still going to reel it down. I'm going to jerk it a couple times and let it sit. And then I'm just going to pull. I pull my rod like 12 inches maybe, and it'll just kind of do that right there. And it'll stop. Then I'll let it sit for 5, 6, 7 seconds. It's kind of like Carolina rig fishing, like just real soft if you're on a shell bed and you're really trying to feel everything. So real subtle pull in it. And instead of it doing this, it's just doing this. And it really looks like it's dying. It's just a different action that they don't see a lot. And then the other thing that I've been playing around with is, after you make your cast and you pull your bait down and you give it a few twitches, is to just kind of shake the rod. Kind of like a drop shot, where you want your weight on the bottom and your drop shot worm is right here, and your weight's not moving, but your worm's kind of hanging there, and you just kind of shake your rod. So the worm's just kind of doing this in place without moving it anywhere. You can do the same thing with the jerkbait. Once you get down there, if you just leave slack in your line, you kind of just shake your line. So you're not really trying to pull the bait. You're just shaking your line, and it kind of just makes it kind of quiver. So I always picture them up there looking at it, and they're waiting. They're not quite committed, and you just, instead of pulling it away from them, you're just kind of teasing them. You're just kind of sticking it in their face and going, get you some of this, or, just come and get it. Come and get it. Here it is. It's free. Eat it. But I've been catching a few fish like that. So I don't know if that was too much geekiness on the jerkbait. I've been fishing these a lot, so I've been thinking about what's going on down there. And then ways to weight them. We kind of kind of mentioned that. Probably the most common way to weight them is with suspend strips. These are pretty common. I think they're made by Storm. I think Storm's the only company that makes them. But the strips are the longer ones. I don't know if you can see that. They're just strips, and they've got adhesive on the back, and they make them in the dots too. They're in the dots like that. One thing I would recommend is do this. Try to do this. Well, I guess you need to throw your bait in the water and see how it suspends. But wipe your bait off. If you made a cast and you jerk that thing down, you're looking at it and it's floating back up. That's not going to work. You don't want it. Me personally, I want it sitting perfectly still or falling really, really slow. You don't want it to be coming back up towards the top of the water, because that fish is already hesitant about coming up to meet it. So you don't want it to have to swim any further than it needs to. The whole goal is to get that jerk bait down there as close to that fish as possible. And that's why you want to have them weighted and suspended. So if you jerk that bait down and it's floating back up, you want to pull it in the boat and you want to wipe it down. Take your t-shirt, take a towel, whatever, wipe it down. Make sure it's not damp. And then I'll take my thumb. I'll actually, you're going to put your suspend strips. Most of the time, you're going to put them right there. If you want it nose down. Now, if you want it horizontal, you're going to put it on the belly. But wherever you're going to put it at, I will get this nice and clean, nice and dry, and I'll take my finger or my thumb and I'll just kind of hold it there for just about 5 seconds, just to kind of add some heat to that, to warm it up, because it's so cold outside. Glue and adhesive doesn't work as well when it's cold if it's warmed up a little bit. So warm it up a little bit, and then just pop your suspend strip off there and just put it on there, and it will stick a whole lot better. And just kind of push it down really, really good, and then I'll hold it on there for 5 seconds. To help it out and kind of roll it around. So that's one way you can weight these things to get them suspended. Another way is changing a hook. If you want it to, most of these have like size 6 hooks. That's pretty common for the 110 size baits. I would say the 78s. I think they have an 8 and a 5. But anyway, changing one of these hooks out. If you want it to go nose down, I would go from a 6, take this one off, and put a 4 on there. Of course, this is a Vision 110. I better grab another one. I feel bad even saying anything about that, because those things suspend right out of the box almost 100%. Let me grab one of these over here. You're trying to tell a story and you're holding a bait that doesn't do that. So let me grab one that I've had do that. So here's an RC stick, and this is a really good color too. This is an emerald shiner. This is probably one of the other colors that I would definitely have, kind of the natural look. So anyway, taking this 6 off, putting a 4 on there, that's going to help it suspend nose down. If you want it to suspend more horizontal, you want to do the same thing with this hook right here. So get rid of this hook. It's a 6, put a 4 on there. If that's still not going on, another thing you can do, and this is if you don't want to do the suspend strips, you can put a split ring right here on this hanger. I've done that with several of my baits. So that is, well, and you can also add like the wire wrap, the lead core wire around any of these hooks, depending on where you want. So your suspended dots, suspended strips, changing the hook size, upgrading the hook size, adding a split ring, or adding the wire. And that wire you can get, it's like fly tying wire. They use it for nymphs. Like when you're fly tying, you wrap some around that on your hook for like weighting woolly boogers and stuff. It's pretty common. You can get on basically any online fly tying site, and you can buy that stuff. It's super cheap. It comes in different sizes. But that's really it. Oh, one more bait. Let me show you one more jerk bait that I can catch some fish on. I really think this is another one you should have in your lineup. This is the Spro McStick. It's got a bigger bill. It has a different action, has a different sound. I think this is a really good cold water bait. It reminds me of a Rogue a little bit. It's got, let's see, right here. Of course I got a Rogue. So another thing is on these jerk baits is where the bill is. I know this is getting real nerdy and stuff, but where the bill placement is on these baits affects the action. So this is a McStick. This is a Rogue. You can see how far that bill is back. So these, in my opinion, these have a pretty close action to some of these old school Rogues, and it's really good cold water bait. It gets down a little bit deeper too, I think. This is a blue bandit color. It's hard to see, of course, but it's got that little yellow, that line down there, the little yellow line right there you can see, and it's got the white belly and the blue top there, a little black dot there. Great. This is a great jerkbait. And I've upsized this. One thing I've noticed about these is they do have a tendency to rise. So I put a 5, or I put a 4 on there and a little bit of split ring, and that's going to give that thing pretty good balance. But great jerkbaits. Blue Bandit is probably the color I would recommend. But they got several of them out there. There's several good colors. Let me go back and look at the comments. Just kind of went on a tangent, man. I had to kind of cut myself off because we could probably talk about jerkbaits for another hour. Let me see here. Okay, Winning Edge Fishing says Pro Bone and the KBD. Yeah. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch Bass Talk Live with Frank Scalish on there, and he was talking about rogues. He had a rogue show. Anybody out there watch that? That was really good. If you haven't listened to that, go back and check it out. But one thing he was talking about was taking these, anything that's got the chrome to it. He actually recommended the blue. I got one right here. I can show you exactly what he's talking about. Okay, so taking a rogue like this. This is just the blue chrome with a white belly, red head, and scraping. You can see there's a little bit of a bone. The paint's kind of faded away right there from catching some fish. So any chromed bait like this with a chrome paint is going to have a bone underneath it, right? So he was saying scraping, taking a blade or a knife or something and scraping all this away, and then you have a natural bone color. So even the belly, basically you just want like a little bit of the blue right here, and the rest is bone, and you can do that with the another one I've been throwing around. But you can do the same thing with this one. So leave that black back and just a little bitty sliver of the chrome, and just scrape all this paint off all the way down to the belly. And so you got a bone chrome black back rogue. And bone, man, everybody throws the top water. Bone's the deal, you know that. A bone spook, a bone plopper, anything bone is really good, and it works good in jerkbaits too. So that's a pretty cool little tip. But that's a cool show, man. If you haven't checked that out, Bass Talk Live with Frank Scalish. It's like day 4, I think they're calling it. He did the Rogue one. He's got several really, really good shows. But lots of information. Let me see what else we got on here. Got White Whale Fishing. What's up, dude? Got Danny in here. John Morse. Stephanie, I just talked to you. Jay needs a sticker. I got you covered, Jay. Husky jerks. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Husky jerk. I don't throw those as much as I used to. Let's see. Jay wants an extra large shirt. Extra large gray. Yeah, guys, hit me up on Jay. You can shoot me a text or whatever. But Scott, hit me up on Facebook on either Gabe Montgomery Fishing, or 10 Horse Monty, or you can do the Instagram 10 Horse Monty 6, and that way I got like a little running list there, and I can get that stuff out to you. I'll probably get it out in the mail like within a couple of days. I like to get onto it because I'm a letter carrier, so I like to get after and get it taken care of. Yeah, if you haven't hit thumbs up, please hit thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Like I said earlier when I went on a little YouTube rant, it helps the channel grow. That's a way that you can get back to us and let us know that you appreciate what we are doing. Nate, no. The dual Realis, I don't have any yet. It's kind of a hole in my jerkbait game. I've heard a lot of good things about them, and I plan on getting some. I just have not made that commitment yet. I want to get that ditchweed color. They make a ditchweed color, which is real orange and red color, and it works really good in stained water. I didn't have one of those last year, but I saw that I needed one because I saw some fish being caught on that. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be looking into. The old chrome blues always seem to be slow stinkers. Bomber Long A, number 15. Okay, Shadow Bassin. I know I got some Bomber. This is just, man, I brought in two, but these are just the jerk baits that I've been using. There's probably, I think we did a trivia question the other night on how many jerk baits I had. I can't remember, but that one box had like 60, and then I got a small box with my smaller finesse jerk baits that probably has 60 in there. And then I got 3 or 4 boxes in the closet. They're just stuff that I don't use as often. So I got to have room in my little John boat for things other than jerk baits. And I definitely don't want to sink the boat, especially with jerk baits. I guess I could hold on to them and I'd suspend. I don't know. Jay says clown color is a color that I threw a lot and haven't thrown in a while. Yeah, it was really popular. In fact, Mike, when we had Mike on the other day, we were talking about the clown and how it was really big, and then it's kind of gone away, but it still works. I've caught some fish recently on the clown color. What else do we have here? Yeah, Smithwick Rogue clown color. There it is. They have a 1+ junior, Nate says. Okay, or a +1 junior. Nishine. I don't know how you say that. I know what you're talking about. This right here is the Lucky Craft version of the clown. I think that's called, I thought this was Nishine or Nisho or something, but this is the SP100. This is another good jerk bait, like that $14 to $15 price point, 2 hook. It's got a bigger profile. It's a good one though. It's Lucky Crafts they make some good stuff. See, Chuck says I have a few Megabass jerk baits. They do catch some nice fish. Just got me the MB 110 +1 junior in GP Pro Blue. Waiting for the water to soften up so I can try. Yeah, you gotta have water to get in. When that bead resets, it gives it just a little different action on the Megabass. Okay. Talking about that jackal. Little wiggle at the end. Yeah, Chuck, that provoking jank juice, I went with, I showed this one earlier, but this is that chartreuse phobia, I think it was, and I was looking for the jank juice, and that's all they had was this color. And this looks pretty good in the water. I just got this the other day. I haven't really thrown it yet. So we got to vote for the Bass Pro Shops Carbon Light 6/8 medium spinning rod, perfect for jerk baits. Yeah, there's a ton of good jerk bait rods out there. You just want to have a nice soft tip. Jay says nose down was the ticket this weekend. Oh, you're being sneaky, Jay. Jay, I always thought you were a horizontal guy. Okay, I think we're caught up on the comments. Trying not to get hoarse. Starting to feel my throat active a little bit. So that's my take on jerk baits. At least that's all we got time for on that. I got, like I said, this is my little finesse jerk bait box, and I've got all just smaller stuff. I've got this little Squirrel 79 DDs, which are a pretty sneaky little bait. The Bevy Shad. Here, I'll pull a couple of these out. What the heck? That's another 5 minutes on jerk baits, right? The Bevy Shad. Lucky Craft. Little sneaky jerk bait / shad wrap looking thing. It's a good one. It's a cool one. Ron showed me this. Ron DeRosa showed me this a while back, and last year actually. Had some pretty good days on it. This is that Squirrel 79. It's a cool one. Gets down there really deep. It's real finessey. It's a spinning rod deal. A lot of these are spinning rod deals. And this is another SB78, excuse me, in a bluegill pattern. This is you kind of want to throw some bluegills in the mix too. Not a lot of people do that, but there's some days when they want that pattern, that yellow perch, that barfish, kind of stripe pattern. It's just something different. And I got shad wraps in here and lucky shads, and there's a bunch of good little those light bosses type flat-sided crankbaits in there. So let's let's move on to some other baits that I've been catching fish on. I didn't mean to spend like 45 minutes talking about jerkbaits. It's crazy how that happens. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Just go down through here really quick. Okay, yeah, the shadow wrap jerkbaits. I've thrown those a little bit too. They've got a really wide. They're like a flat-sided jerkbait almost. It's the last jerkbait, I promise. Shadow wrap. See how tall that is? It's just compared to that's a Lucky Strike 110, and then that's a shadow wrap. So shorter, fatter, stockier. It's definitely got more of a shad profile to it. Just a little bit different look. Got a lot more flash. That's one thing about a flat side, anything. You got more surface area to catch light, so it's gonna throw you some. It's gonna throw a different flash on there. Give it a little bit tighter wiggle most of the time. But these are great too. It's got that coffin bill kind of. Oh, I guess you call that a coffin bill. It's just a little bit different bill. I actually upsized this. This was a slow rise, so I put a big old nasty hook on there. But okay, let's talk Shaky Heads real quick. I think I was kind of wanting to wrap this up around 9-ish or so, but we'll go into just some Shaky Head stuff. See, I had Shaky Head blade bait, finesse jig, underspin, A-rig, finesse swim bait. I don't think we're going to get to all that. Let's talk blade baits real quick. Not a lot of people talk about that, and I don't know a whole my blade bait experience is pretty limited, but I will tell you that we were over there the other day fishing, and I was having problems getting bit on the jerkbait. And Jerry, you guys have watched a lot of my tournament videos. Jerry is my tournament partner. He started throwing blade bait. You guys don't know what a blade bait is? It is this little chunk of metal right here. Silver Buddy. That's kind of the first one. It's kind of like Kleenex and facial tissue. The Silver Buddy is kind of the rattle trap and lipless crankbait thing. They're the first ones that came out with that, as far as I know, are the ones that you always hear about. These are blade baits. Kind of stupid looking, right? But these are something that you can throw in the wintertime, and you can fish them in the same. This sucker's got some bling to it. You can fish these in the same areas that you're throwing your jerkbaits. You're just throwing these out shallow. We were working them off the grass line, outside grass line, and just really soft little pools. It's got just a brr, brr, and catching some fish that wouldn't hit that jerkbait. So just a little bit different look. That's all I know about blade baits. I just wanted to throw that in there because it's kind of overlooked, and we were catching a few fish on that. And let's talk about Shaky Heads real quick. So I did a video a while back where I really got into Shaky Head stuff. And Shaky Head is, I don't know, it's some people don't like the Shaky Head. Some people would rather throw a jig, and then there's some people that have moved away from the Shaky Head to the Ned rig. But for me, it's just something that I throw when I need a bite, especially like a finesse Shaky Head, something that's really light. And I consider finesse like an 1/8 ounce or 3/16 ounce ball head jig on 8-pound test on a spinning rod. So I'm usually throwing like 15-pound braid tied to 8-pound fluorocarbon, and then I'll have that really light finesse Shaky Head on there. And I'm typically going with like a 5-inch worm, of some sort. But I need to get some of those some of the Hawgz Custom worms, because I heard they were biting those pretty good this weekend. But I always throw the Zoom finesse worm. If I can't get bit on that, I'm going to the Speed Crawl, and then I'm going to throw in the Baby Brush Hog. And then this is interesting. we were fishing that tournament the other day, and we were catching some shaky head fish, and Jerry was catching like 2 to my 1 on a centipede, like the old school centipede, just a zoom centipede. And I throw the fish doctor a lot. I was throwing a speed crawl, and they wanted that centipede thing. So that's another thing that's important to pay attention to when you're fishing a shaky head is the profile. And I guess you could say that for just about any soft plastics, but it seems to really make a difference a lot of times. You can switch from, like a more finesse type worm, or go to something that's fatter, like a Cinco or that centipede or that fish doctor, or go to something that's kind of crawfish. And you can see a difference a lot of times. They seem to prefer one or the other just about on any given day. Once you get it dialed in, you're good to go. But shaky head is just it's just a good bait to get bites, and it'll catch some good fish too. Just because it's small does not mean that it won't catch big fish. There's a lot of big fish that caught every year on that little shaky head. I just got a lot of confidence on it, and right now in the wintertime, it is something that you need to have on the deck, in my opinion. You need to like a finesse jig, big football jig, and then a shaky head for stuff that you want to be dragging on the bottom. I guess you could throw a drop shot in there too, but for me, that's what I've been throwing is the shaky head. I've also been throwing the finesse jig a little bit, and I think that's all I've been throwing on the bottom. Most of my fish have been coming on jerkbait or whatever. So I tell you what, guys, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? My throat's starting to kind of go south on me, get a little bit crusty. Let me look through these comments. That'll give me a little chance to recoup here. Drink me some tea here. Jay says he got whipped by a 5 1/4-inch Hawgz Custom Bait finesse worm. That's what won this weekend. And they were fishing. He was fishing on Egypt. Yeah, the head and sonar. That's right, Shadow Bassin. That's another blade bait that is really, really popular. These are all the baits. Most of the blade baits that I've got on, I think, Lure Parts Online. I did a bunch of. I kind of shopped around on those a while back. And I found, I guess it was like 3 years ago, I found Lure Parts Online had kind of like the best prices, and still had, you still got some pretty cool colors. So some of the ones that I got, these are from Lure Parts Online. I mean, that's like it's a shad, like gizzard shad. It's got the green back. It's got the chrome sides. It's even got some white there on the bottom. I mean, that's a good looking blade bait, A lot of times they just like, from what I've seen and what I've had, I haven't caught a whole lot of fish on, to be honest with you. But I've been doing a little bit of research, and when I've been in the boat with people that are catching fish, it seems like that chrome, just like the silver, just the straight up silver, is caught just as many fish as any other ones that I've seen. I'll show you a couple of the other ones because I decided to buy some. I bought a bunch of different colors. I bought that green, that kind of gizzard shad that I just showed you. And then I also bought some of these that are, they've got this, I don't even know, it's got a little bit of yellow prism in there, kind of the blue back, chrome sides. And these are all like 1/2 to 3/8 ounce. Yes. Oh, good night. See you. I'll be up in a little while. And I'll show you one more cool color. This is kind of their fire tiger color. It's got that yellow perch look. If I can get it on there, these are worse than jerkbaits. That one, it's pretty cool. I don't know, it looks crazy, right? It's just a yellow perch, just a barfish kind of pattern. But these are all Lure Parts Online, I think. And I think they had a couple other colors. They probably got something. I'd say silver and white. You can probably you can get by in just about any situation with silver and white. Same way with your spoons, if you're a spoonfish guy. Chrome spoon, white spoon. It's pretty simple. The white's going to work most of the time, even on your cloudy days. And then there might be time when they want that big flashy chrome spoon down there. Let's see what else we got on here. See if I didn't miss anybody. Shaky Head with Hawgz. That's right. Tackle HD Helgamite. If you like the centipede. Okay. I have not seen that one yet. Let me go back up. I think I just went through a bunch of, bypassed a bunch of comments. Okay, Ron's asking about the hook size on the Shaky Head. I like a 3/8. I like a 3/0. I'm sorry. I like a 3/0 round bend. For that little finessey stuff. I've been using the big bite baits. It's just a ball head, and I think this is another important topic. I think with that smaller weight Shaky Head, I don't think a stand-up head. This is just my opinion. So there's the ball head, and then there's a stand-up head. I don't think that the stand-up head and that light of a weight makes a difference. I just don't think there's enough weight to pin that thing down. Let me see if I got a Shaky Head. Talk about it. I'd like to get your opinion on that too. I didn't even bring Shaky Head in here. Brought everything else. But anyway, I think when the ball head is really light, or the Shaky Head is really light, I don't think it has the capability of making that bait stand up. Now, I think when you go to something that's heavier, I think there is an advantage of having like a flat spot or a stand-up head. I think you got enough weight to keep that thing pinned down to actually make it stand up. So let me show you this real quick. These are really cool. These are the Cumberland Pro Magnum Shaky Heads. I don't know if you can see those or not. They just came out with these this fall. These suckers are awesome. They come in 3/8, half, and I think a 3/4. 7/0 round bend hook, and it's got a pretty cool little keeper. It's got a hitchhiker style keeper, which I really, really like. It's got a recessed line tie right there. And I'm getting off topic, but I'll get back to this. So I think when you got a heavier Shaky Head like that, it's got enough weight to help it stay standing up, or it's going to stand up better on the bottom. But when you got like an 1/8 ounce or 3/16 ounce, I don't think it's heavy enough to make it stand up. I think it's just going to lay down, even if you have a stand up. I may be wrong. I don't know. Just to me, it just seems like you need a heavier weight to actually make that stand up work. So I just use a ball head. I guess I'm just taking a long way around to get into this, but I use a ball head. It's a big bite baits ball head with a round bend hook. It's like a 3/0 round bend hook, and that seems to be just fine for me. There's tons of good Shaky Head big heads out there. But back to this real quick while we're talking about this. The big bite bait Shaky Head just has a barb right there. It doesn't have a keeper on there. And I don't know, this is kind of an opinion thing. For me personally, I don't like a keeper on there. I know it keeps your worm on there better. And if I do use a keeper on some of them, especially the bigger ones, but I will trim this down. I don't want that much coil. I'll just trim this down to maybe where there's like 2 turns. And the reason why is because the closer this keeper gets to your hook point, the less gap you got. So this is the space that you got to get that hook in the fish's mouth, right? This one is a hitchhiker, right? But on a fixed one, it's going to be solid. So if that fish bites right here, it almost acts like a little bit of a weed guard. They just don't have as big of a bite. So that's one of the reasons I like just a barb, just a keeper down here. You don't have this in the way. Now the thing that I like about this obviously is once you get that worm threaded on this pivots and it breaks away. See? So look at your bite. Look at your bite from here to here now, and then imagine that was fixed. So there's your new bite, right? It's a pretty significant gap difference. So I like the ideal of this giving. You get a better hook in the fish, I do believe. So anyway, let's see. It's my Shaky Head. So that's my shaky head tutorial. You can, there's so many different baits to throw on a shaky head. Basically, you can throw anything on a shaky head. Just a great way to get some bites. Check these questions out. Here are these comments. Yeah, winning edge fishing says your likes that stand up. This is kind of a unique bait because it's got that big 7/0 round bend hook. And it pairs up really good with like the Magnum trick worm. Even a rage crawl. I throw a rage crawl out on a shaky head, or I'll throw a beaver. But for the big Magnum worms, this 7/0, it's not EWG, so it's not just, they make several of these bigger shaky heads with the EWG in them. And a couple things I don't like. I think the hook is just too big, and I think it's too thick. This is like a standard wire. And I don't like a really thick hook on my shaky head. A lot of times you're fishing with light line. Now something like this, obviously you're going to be throwing probably 15-pound test, but you're going to be on a long cast, and it's kind of the same concept as a football jig. I don't like a real beefy hook on a football jig, because when you're way out there, to drive a big beefy hook in a fish at, when they're even a 30-yard cast or something, is really difficult to do. So I like a standard wire in my shaky head, standard kind of medium light wire, something like that. Seems to be easier to penetrate that fish's mouth. Those are Cumberland Pro. So Cumberland Pro lures, go check them out. You can check them out on Tackle Warehouse. They got a lot of good products. I was going to talk about all their products, but I got too caught up on that jerkbait stuff. They got a lot of new products that they just came out with this fall. They redesigned a lot of their baits. That you guys like swim jigs, man. That Limit Out Compact swim jig is killer. It's a really good one. Their little finesse football jigs are really, really nice too. You can get on there and check out all the colors and all the baits and stuff. Okay. Anyway, I think that's about it, guys. I wanted to try to get off for around 9 or so. And this has been fun, man. It's been fun. I'm glad to see all these people on there, and glad you guys stuck around. Like I said, I know my throat. I need some cough drops, dude. It's getting all itchy and stuff. I don't want to make a fool of myself out here. Start like a 17-year-old school child. Give me a like up if you haven't. Consider a sub, and if you guys are interested in these t-shirts, hit me up on my socials, and I will definitely get you taken care of. And I got some good stuff coming out, some good content coming out this week. I've been dropping videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, trying to stay consistent. And yeah, that's right, Dave. And then next week we got several cool guests coming up. We're going to try to keep getting these good guests. There's been a lot of good positive feedback, and so we got some good stuff coming up for you. It's going to be, it's kind of like, as I started reaching out to people, they started saying, yeah, we'd love to be on the stream. And then I had to kind of pull the reins back because we were already booked out like a month ahead. So I pulled back and kind of gathered things up, and we've got several good guests lined up. So next Monday, 7:30 Central, I'll be back up at the Backyard Bass and Bar and Grill, and Greg will be in there, and we'll be doing it up the road. But that's all I got for you guys. I really appreciate you spending some time to me and spending some time with me, and I will see you guys next week. So peace out. Thanks.